So Natasha Cloud is still not signed in free agency. I think a lot of people are very, very surprised by this. And to be honest, as am I. Like, I thought by this stage, Natasha Cloud would have been signed. It seems like it is a representation issue. That she hasn't been signed because she moved to a new agent, and there's an issue there. But she's now at the stage where a lot of people are like, oh, she's not being signed for like off the court reasons because she's too much of an activist. Man, Bree Turner's been signed. Bree Turner's an activist and she's not very good. Like, the problem with Natasha Cloud is none of the teams that would offer her big money have money. So everyone's like, oh, Portland can sign her. This or that other team. Any team that is any team that's a modern basketball team isn't going to sign her. Why? Because the analytics think she sucks. Like, if you look at any like model breaking down the WNBA, like the analytics will tell you that Natasha Cloud stinks. And look, I'm going to be honest here. Sometimes like your eyes lie. Sometimes your eyes genuinely lie. So she might be terrible. Like, from what I've seen, Natasha Cloud's pretty good. But like, your eyes lie sometimes. That being said, she's somebody where if you look at teams, who has cap room? Portland won't sign her. Portland are trying to lose. Like, I don't think people understand this. Everyone's like, oh, Portland. I've seen people say Portland and Toronto are the two worst teams. No. Portland might go 3-41. Toronto might fuck about and be the 9th seed. They might fuck about and make the playoffs. Like, the 6th best player on the Portland Fire or on the Toronto Temple would be the best player on the Portland Fire. Like, the Portland Fire are going to be running their offense through a player who's never scored 10 points in a season, in a game for a season, in Bridget Carlton. Portland's best offensive player is Carla Late, who is not going to come over until June. And that is that's a big one. That is a big one, that their best player is not coming over for a certain amount of time. And then their rookie, Iana Martine, is not coming over till next year. Like, this is... Everyone's like, people are like, oh, Portland got an F in the draft because, Iana Martine's not coming over for a year. They need fans to get excited about something. They are trying to lose. Like, they're not going to lose their franchise in 1 year. Those fans are going to be really excited when Juju Watkins rocks up, because the worst team in the lottery, it's a 50% chance of Juju Watkins. To put themselves in a coin flip for Juju Watkins, that's what they will do. Like, they will have to lose a lot of games. A lot of games to be in that sweepstakes. That being said, you've now got that's for her. The New York Liberty don't have anything over a max contract to give her. We'll say over a minimum contract to give her. The Las Vegas Aces have a minimum contract to give her. The Washington Mystics are trying to lose. And I've seen people saying the Washington are like the 10th best team in the WNBA. Based on what? They drafted a whole bunch of players that can't shoot. They have one player on their roster that can shoot. They have a whole bunch of players that play the same position, do the same thing. Like, people have put their starting 5 out and say Dugalich is going to start. Dugalich start at the 3. Dugalich starting at the 3, or Kiki Iriafen slide down to the 3. Kiki Iriafen can't shoot. Like, they literally cannot shoot. Like, I'm sorry, this is New York. The Washington Mystics is a roster put together so that they can see what assets work, they can trade whatever young players don't work out, and they can lose enough games that that they get a really good draft pick. Because they have to be really bad in order to get the draft pick they thought they were going to get from Chicago. They thought Chicago were going to hand them a really good draft pick. So that's why they're going for this. They literally They drafted a whole bunch of players that are not going to be on this team in a year or two. They drafted a whole bunch of high upside swings that other teams will want to trade for that may not make their team when they're going for a championship in 3 years' time. And they want to be in, again, they want to give themselves at least a 15% chance of Juju Watkins. Like, that is realistically what they want. They want at least a 15% chance of Juju, which they very well could get. But it really is one of these things where you've now got a lot of teams that just can't afford a Natasha Cloud. And then a lot of teams that can't afford Natasha Cloud that probably don't even want Natasha Cloud. And that's where the problem is. It's not purely that, none of these teams, no team in the W wants Cloud. A lot of teams want Natasha Cloud. Most teams that want Natasha Cloud can't afford Natasha Cloud. Most teams that can afford Natasha Cloud don't want Natasha Cloud. Like, that would be my guess. That would absolutely be my guess at all. My guess in general is that, you basically have a bad situation for her that because she went and fired her agent, I think she was looking for way too much money. Like, in a point guard market where Ty Harris is going for, where Ty Harris goes for $400K, Natasha Cloud is not worth more than, she's not worth that much more than Jordan Canada, who went for $600K on a 2-year deal. I don't think she'd accept a $600K on a 2-year deal. I'm guessing she was putting herself in the 1 million range. She was a max contract player in the last CBA. I think she was looking for max contracts immediately. And yes, is she that much worse than Courtney Williams? No. But the Minnesota Lynx wanted Courtney Williams. And if you're looking for teams with cap room to give her $800K, it's a tanking team that aren't going to do that. She might be too good for a tanking team. And I don't think she'll want to play for a tanking team. So yeah, it's an awkward situation for her all around. I don't think she's happy at all with this. Obviously, getting rid of her agent shows that. But at the same time, a lot of people are saying, oh, there's foul play involved. It's because she's an activist. No, it's literally nothing to do with that. It is nothing to do with that. It is literally just a situation where it is a perfect storm of events working against her coming into this new CBA. So anyway, yeah, that is the video. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.